Welcome to Degays Watch Degrassi.
I'm David.
And I'm Marisa. This is the Degrassi Rewatch Podcast, where each week my expertise
And my skepticism
will reveal new tidbits, make connections, and shed a new rainbow on this Canadian after-school special. Today we are listening to Season 1, Episode 8, Secrets and Lies. This title comes from a film and a song being by Jonathan Brooke, and they came out in 1996 and 1997. What did you say the plot of the film was?
Rich London optometrist who's an adopted black woman searches for her birth mother, who turns out to be a white woman.
Interesting. That's very interesting, but
has nothing to do with gay dads.
I guess it sort of does, but in the most minimal way possible. You found out your parent wasn't something that you expected, I guess. Okay, here is the synopsis. Ashley's dad is coming back after living in Europe for many years, and he's talking in Ashley's MI class to present about his experiences overseas.
Being MIA.
But that's not all he has to share with Ashley. He has been keeping a secret for a long time. When Ashley finds out the truth, she doesn't know if she can accept it. This situation inspires JT to concoct a lie to avoid Liberty's affection, but his secret doesn't go well either. So that's how the episode goes down. So let's jump on in.
Oh, they have brunch to start? She should have known.
It starts off Ashley coming home from brunch with her dad. Clear indication, because brunch is the gayest meal of
the day.
Yes, of any day. And you can see him kind of hesitate right before she goes out of the car, and he's hesitating to tell her something. And when she walks in the house, Kate and Jeff are arguing about the hard water in the dishwasher. Now, I feel Kate's pain. I know this is an example of the pain in the ass quality that Ashley and her mom share, but hard water sucks. We live on a well, and it's just, it messes with your hair, it messes with everything. So she talks about how he got to meet Prince Charles. What was the fact we said about him? Oh, that he's next in line to get
He'll
the
never
crown.
get it, though.
And that
his mom will outlive him, which is the queen.
Isn't she, like, in her 90s, though?
Yeah, but he's, like, in his late 70s or 80s.
You think he might die?
Before her? Yeah. There's a real possibility. Her mom, like, died when she was, like, 100 and something.
Oh, damn. Elizabeth I? Or...
No, I forget what her name was.
Sorry, I know very little.
She was called the Queen Mother. Remember, it was a big deal when she died.
That's very
That's
cultish
about it.
Sounding. That's very North
Oh, she's
Korea-ish.
the mom of the queen. I don't know if she ever was queen. I don't know.
Yeah. But Prince Charles is the father of the two that moved to the U.S. Or the
one.
Yeah. Him and his.
Him and her and him.
The couple who moved to America. We all know who I'm talking about. So, and noticeably, Ashley's mom is curious about what Ashley's dad has been up to, and that kind of piques Ashley's interest.
Oh, the skater kids.
Skated into school, very OOs. They should have had a rollerblader, too. I mean, but they always had JT.
But then the rollerblader couldn't get up the stairs.
Right. He'd have to take them off, then go up. So we learn a little bit more about Terry in this episode. We knew before, sort of, that she lived alone with her dad, and we learn that her mom has passed away when she's showing Ashley a locket of them. She also mentions she's really beautiful, like a movie star, and Ashley says you just look just like her, which is a little bit more foreshadowing for what comes up in later episodes. Ashley also she's picking up on something weird is going on with her family. She just doesn't know what it is yet. And she gets in trouble with Miss Kwan, which happens a lot. Ashley talks in English. Everyone talks in English. They're always in English class. Alright, meanwhile, the 7th graders are talking about their upcoming English class. They have to do haikus. Sean hasn't even done his yet. Emma's ancient waves so pure, lapping on the shores of time, early death our fault. So, more of her obsession with environmentalism, which is just her continued personality trait.
I love that shot.
The, like, really technical shot where it's the airplane flying through the room.
And it makes a noise.
But the point of the shot is that Liberty takes the blame for it when it was JT that did it. Why does she do that? It's like something fishy is going on and we don't know what yet.
So just this episode where she starts liking him?
Yeah. I think that Emma knows, though. Maybe because she's been the recipient of a hopeless crush before, so she sees the signs before everyone else.
Mm-hmm. That's some shrimpy breath right there.
I like shumai, okay? Shumai for breakfast is normal.
Shumai, dumpling.
Shut up.
Gay time, dumpling time.
So, Liberty also wants to interview JT for The Grapevine, which is just building the idea that she has a crush. And they start singing JT and Liberty sitting in a tree. You should read Sean's.
No. It's a stupid poem.
He apparently got it done, even though it was due next period.
I mean, it's a haiku. It's not exactly a 10-page essay.
No, it's not hard. And the wild thing to me is that he even made it rhyme, which haikus don't normally, so...
I don't get the point of learning haikus. I feel like it being in English, it loses its meaning. I feel like there's probably something in the Japanese language that makes them more beautiful.
More sense.
Yeah.
I think it's because they're easy to write, and it tries to force you to convey something in a short amount of words.
We'll just do a limerick. Those are the best.
There once was a man from Nantucket.
You wouldn't even say there once was a man from Degrassi?
There once was a man from Degrassi. So, Ashley Sad gives his presentation, and he has a Canada speak alert, or I think it is. He calls Kosovo. Very Canadian, but he talks about how he had shrapnel and he was in the war, and for some reason all the girls just find him dreamy. And Paige,
they play field hockey? When do we ever see the girls play hockey?
I think we're meant to assume that it's for gym class, because they're just wearing street clothes. But hockey is big in Canada.
Oh, and we see them play it a lot?
Well, later the younger girls have a field hockey team, but that's not them, so there you go. JT is hiding in a locker to avoid Liberty. But
why? He got stuffed into a locker like last episode.
I know.
And then he was stuck in it.
I wouldn't,
Maybe he's figured a way to, open it.
She takes a picture of him in the locker. That's hilarious. Then he pulls a Kaiser Soze and reads behind Toby and says he has dance lessons and that's why he can't do the interview. But it's a happy accident that leads into what he ends up telling Liberty later. So Ashley's dad's driving her back home, and she's so happy that he's moved back and everything. And he's about to tell her something, but then Ashley's mom comes around the corner and gives her ex a kiss and says to Ashley, our Canada speak moment, oh, there's another bag of trash around the corner, go grab it for me, which gets Ashley away. And she's kind of watching them talk, and she sees them kiss, and she thinks it's a romantic moment. But if you listen really closely, you can hear him say soon And she says, I can tell her. So that's a little bit, if you listen carefully, that's like leading in a huge foreshadowing to what's about to happen. Ashley's hinting to her mom about, are they getting back together? And she's like, no. And Ashley knows that there's some kind of secret coming. And she ends up guessing, what, is he gay or something? And is laughing. But that's the it goes there moment. He's actually gay. That is the secret that they've been keeping. So that must have been what Ashley's mom was saying she would tell Ashley for him. So it zooms in on Ashley and she's like, what the fuck? My dad's gay? She's just really shocked. It rolls into a scene where JT is asking some questions like, how are you gay and how do you do it
first
when you're
thing,
gay?
Toby clearly told JT, or Toby's clearly found out.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Do you
now.
think he probably spread it around the school? He was like, Ashley's dad's gay. I mean, if I was his age, I would have probably done that at that time to my terrible stepsister.
So in the next scene, it's lunchtime. Ashley pours her milk carton into a cup. Is that suspect? Have you ever poured a milk carton out into a cup?
Maybe it's a Canadian thing.
Maybe. I feel like they do it just to set up what happens later.
Mm-hmm.
Paige butts into their conversation. Ashley's trying to get some advice from Terry. But Paige says, what if your dad is gay? It would actually explain a lot. And Ashley gets so pissed that she pours her chocolate milk right in Paige's face.
Oh, man, Toby, you should have told Paige.
Right?
God.
She throws the milk right in Paige's face. And Paige says, oh, my oldest brother's gay. I was trying to help Terry. Which, she does have a gay brother later, but saying her oldest brother, it makes it sound like she has more than one brother. So, this is yet another instance of these, like, season 1 siblings that people talk about that never exist later. It happens so many times.
What about Terry's side-eye and not helping Paige, who's all milky? She's just like,
Good luck, Paige. I think she might be, I mean, if I was her, I'd be like, just desserts, because she did mess with her in Eye of the Beholder, where she tried to steal Spinner away. So, JT, fashion crime ticket. He's yet again wearing one of his monochrome outfits, where he's wearing all red and his hat matches his outfit. It's his favorite look. The girls are playing cards of some kind. And Liberty, for some reason, is unaware that JT doesn't like her back and thinks that there's still a chance that they might date. She's eating baby corn? What is up with that?
he's got mustardy face.
So this is the point where JT is like, I've stood her up and ignored her, and Toby tries to say, just tell her honestly that you're not interested. But he decides to concoct a plan to come out to Liberty instead and pretend to be gay.
Because that'll help him in his dating chances later.
That's kind of the problem, right? Like, hello, what are you going to pretend to be gay forever and never date anyone? But he doesn't think that far ahead, obviously. There's also a deleted scene in this part where Toby says, am I going to have to pretend to be your boyfriend? I'm not sure why they deleted it, because I think that that's funny, and, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a Gatorade product placement in this scene. We see many Gatorade product placements, but that's what they're drinking while they're having lunch. JT's laughing with his mouth wide open, food in it. He's a gross boy. So, unexpectedly, Ashley's dad shows up at school. He signs her out, and he says, we need to talk. Ashley's not happy. Now this mirrors a very similar scene that comes up next, where JT says to Liberty, we need to talk. JT says, "You're the only person that's gonna know what I'm about to tell you. That I'm gay. I like boys, not girls." She thinks it's a joke at first, but then he convinces her that he's serious. This is the whatever it takes moment of the episode.
Because he's gonna go suck a dick to prove it to Liberty. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes to get her off his back. He'll even pretend to be gay. Obviously not foreseeing the consequences. Just like in Always Sunny, where Dennis is like, how far will you go for this ruse when they're pretending to be the guy that they took the tickets off of. So this is the really intense it goes there scene of the episode where Ashley and her dad are having a really frank conversation about him being gay. They don't really explain some of the specifics, like, did he know he was gay before he got married? It sort of seems like he was either in denial or he just didn't know he was gay yet, maybe.
It's probably taking lots of dick in the military.
He's not in the military, he's like a reporter.
Oh. Well, he's dicking the reporter. Didn't he say he got, isn't there like he shrapnel?
Yeah, he like reports for war stuff.
Oh.
But he's not like a soldier. So he says he hates himself for hurting Ashley, but it's the only thing that he could do. And that it's not wrong, it's just who he is. But is it not wrong to like marry someone if you know you're gay and then like, you know, try to pretend? I don't know, it's like kind of a fine line for me.
Right.
Like if you know you're gonna mess up, I mean, I guess you don't know you're gonna mess up people's lives because I guess you're trying to do the right thing and be straight, but I don't know. It's a fine line. There's also a deleted scene in this part when Ashley and her dad are talking. In the deleted scene, she asks her dad, "Does this mean I'm gonna be gay too?" And he says, "No, that doesn't mean that you're gonna be gay just because I'm gay. Doesn't mean you will be. Like, my parents aren't gay and your mom's not gay," but, you know. And I can kind of see why they deleted it because...
It's stupid. Do you want to eat vagina?
If not, you're probably not gay.
It's a very simple flow chart.
Obviously, she's already with Jimmy, so I feel like she was starting to figure out her feelings at least. You know? That would have been a weird alternate universe where she was gay and she, like, did that. But, in Degrassi Junior High, the original 80s show, there was a scene that was a little bit similar. It's in season 3, episode 8, He Ain't Heavy. In this case, it's Snake's brother who's coming back after being in med school and telling him and his parents that he's gay. And Snake asks him the same question. Does that mean I'm going to be gay? Because you're gay?
That's pretty funny.
And honestly, Snake doesn't take it great that his brother is admitting to being gay. And he, like, makes some homophobic jokes earlier on while they're learning about AIDS. And he kind of is mad a little bit. And then his brother also says that his parents tell him, like, oh, they only have one son now. That's what they said. So it's like they're really harsh. And I think that's part of it being, you know, like, the 80s. People were less tolerant and stuff. Even than this in 01, which... Even when you get to the later seasons, I feel like it's more tolerant and more diverse than it was in these early seasons, you know? So, but sometimes people who are gay do have children that are also gay. Sometimes they don't. It's kind of like unknown if it's genetic or not or how it works. It's a little bit of a mystery. I know that there's at least like one other gay person in my family or LGBT person. But what does that mean? Does that mean it's related, or is that just because of the sheer number of people in my family, you know? So, I wonder if, like, eventually with 23andMe and stuff, if they'll be able to be like, you have these genes, that means you're
You're
predisposed
20%
to-
gay. Otis was like, but I'm not. It's like, no, we did the genes. You're gay.
Have you tried penis? You may enjoy it based on your genes.
Do you have a propensity to like onions and dick?
But I guess that would be kind of interesting if they eventually have that. But in the next scene, we have one in the long history of Degrassi with overly done gay acting. I just mentioned the scene in Degrassi Junior High where Snake does it with some of his friends, and now JT does it. He walks in, he says, "Hey, Liberty, girlfriend," has his wrist, whatever, and then puts his arm around Toby, which is kind of harkening back to that deleted scene where he's just like, "Am I going to have to pretend to be your boyfriend?" And JT sort of does do that. If you look at this screensaver that's, like, happening behind JT at the time, it's, like, of the school, but just, like, empty. Like, it's, like, that's super weird. It's just, like, the empty computer room, the empty hallway,
Mm-hmm.
I guess they didn't have enough background actors or something. So then Ashley finds out.
That her dad's been taking mustache rides.
She finds out he has a male partner, or a partner who is a man, and she gets very upset that he essentially left their family to be with him. I can see why she's upset, but at the same time, she overreacts a little bit. She just always has a prickly, selfish attitude towards things. Now, Liberty tells JT, "I should have seen it coming that you're gay. You have, doing dance lessons and the boy band compilation CD you own." And he says, "That's my sister's CD."
Do we ever see his sister?
JT's imaginary sister is yet again an example of people saying they have siblings in the first season. Then they never end up coming back up later. So we have Manny mentioning a brother. JT has now mentioned a brother and a sister that never come back. And Paige saying her oldest brother implies she has two brothers, but she only ever shows one. So there you go. That's 4 random imaginary siblings we have so far in this season. And then we hit the "it goes there" moment of the episode. Liberty suggests that JT comes out in the grapevine, and he just bursts out and tells her that he's not actually gay. He just she wouldn't take a hint, and he didn't want to be with her. And she says, "Am I really that horrible? If you didn't like me, you should have just said so." And it's a really intense moment for Liberty and JT kind of figures out that his lie was a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Ashley is just pissed at her dad, and she tells Terry, "I decided my dad is cut out of my life. No more dad. I have my mom and Jeff, and I even have Toby, and I don't need..."
Being a bit dramatic.
She always is. She's self-centered. Everything's all about her. Then Terry gets really honest with Ashley and tells her, "My mom died, Ash. She's never coming back. You have a choice. You have your dad back. He came back from, England is what she means. And you have a choice. Don't make the wrong one, Don't reject your dad just because you found out this hard news." And it's just a sad and hard moment for Ashley, and it ends on that. The episode doesn't really have a make it through moment. It just ends with Ashley having to live through that difficult reality of, wow, I have this difficult moment, but then again, my friend Terry has had it even harder than me, so... And that is the end of Secrets and Lies, episode 8 of season 1. Thank you for listening. And stay tuned for our next episode, episode 9, Coming of Age. It's Jimmy's birthday, and Ashley is not sure how she feels about having her boyfriend around all the time. But can she bring herself to break up with him on his birthday? Do you think there's going to be drama?
Yes.
You know there's going to be, because it's Degrassi.